How many times have you filled smokes in ranked and sweat just to have your instalock duelist halfway across the map lurking? Well, that used to be me, but after I deranked from high Immortal to Ascendant, I decided to become the instalock duelist. After one full act of instalocking and getting back to Immortal 2, I think the sad truth right now is that if you want to rank up quickly, you need to play Duelist, and you don't even need to be good at it to rank up. I had a lower KD on Raze than the next two agents, but still had a 57% win percentage in 93 games. You can see in the stats that I wasn't carrying these games, but I was playing for entries and securing rounds. So let's go through the 3 tiers of Duelist instalocking and the playstyle you need to carry games without aiming. Starting with the lowest tier, where the game is basically a coin flip if you lock these agents in. In this tier, Yoru obviously goes here because his kit is just too weak. Don't get me wrong, you can carry games with Yoru, but you need to be better mechanically than the other players in the lobby. And if you're like me, a non-duelist player that wants to rank up, I'm going to assume that you won't rank up by aim diffing the enemies. Anyways, the second duelist in this tier is Phoenix, and for mostly the same reason. His kit is weak, but also, as you'll see later when I go over the high tier duelists, he doesn't quite have the movement tools you need for the carry playstyle. Moving on to the one agent I put in the middle tier, I called it Need Aim to Carry, because I only put Reyna in this tier. Her playstyle is similar to what I talked about with Phoenix. You don't have the movement to overwhelm an uncoordinated defense, but if your aim is even just above average for your rank, I think her kit is strong enough, unlike Phoenix, that it enables you to carry if played correctly. But as tempting as it is, I still don't think Reyna is the way to go if you want to rank up quickly as a newly made Duelist instalock. This brings me to my S tier, which I called Win in Agent Select. If you're following, you'll know that Jett, Raze, and Neon are the duelists left, and they're all in this tier. Now, you obviously won't win every game you play, but I think while locking in these agents, if you play the playstyle correctly, you'll win a majority of your games and rank up quickly. And while all of these agents feel different to play, the win condition is surprisingly similar. On attack, you want to lurk and catch the defense on rotates while your team takes sight. Just kidding. Now that all the Reyna mains are gone, you actually want to stay with your team and be the first onto site. But this doesn't necessarily mean taking the entry fight. As Jett, for example, you dash out into a smoke, checking the common spots on the way in your dash, and then you can exit the smoke as your team begins to fight on site. This way you come out of your smoke pre-aiming the enemy, and you should likely trade or get a free entry for your team. With Neon, you can use your wall and stuns to sprint into an off angle in a similar way, and then exit the wall with your team, so again you can double fight angles. And unlike when you're playing smokes or initiator, you don't have the frustration of throwing your util just to watch your team sit in the choke point and not take advantage of it. When you're a duelist, you can call for your smokes util, and then as soon as you see the smokes go down, you can dash in and take the initiative. Moving on to Raze on attack, you can clear the most common angle with your nade, or any angle you really have info on, and then double satchel to take the attention away from your team while they're entering. Ideally, even if they randomly spray you through the smoke, catch you through your neon wall, or hit a one tap while you're Raze satcheling, your team will get the trade, or even if they don't get the trade, they'll at least take sight and get a free plant while the defenders are regrouping. Moving on to defense, the key is you want to be where the sight hit is. Don't be that player who anchors B site the whole game, then is mad that your team lost A every round. Try to read the enemy and play the site where they will hit. If you're opping, take aggressive angles, and then after you get a first blood, reposition across the map to catch the attack when they rotate away from you. And if you're not opping, try to combine your positioning with a Skye or a Sova, one of your initiators, so you can get aggressive positioning and clear out large portions of the map. The general idea is not to get the highest stats like I said before, it's to make sure that you minimize rounds where you have no control over the result. Sentinels, controllers, and even initiators are really bad at this, because to play them correctly, you want to avoid early confrontation to keep your util available throughout the round and get refreshes on your abilities for characters who have signatures. Fnatic Leo is a great example of this, getting just 2 first deaths in all of Fnatic's Tokyo run. And that's why I think Duelist is the most important role to play if you're looking to rank up, because it's not about carrying teams, it's about having the most impact on your ranked games. And if you want to see what I learned from a pro IGL roasting my gameplay, make sure to watch this video next. Thanks!